Hey crew, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. Tonight, tonight my time, but not your time, but whatever. We are going to go over Katie's posts from Facebook and Instagram where she is, talking about hydrocephalus. Did I say it right? Still working on saying it right. Which her son has. And yes, I needed to say more than what she said. And so I'm just going to go over it all.
I can't think. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I can't. What am I supposed to do?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. God, I'm doing an awful job at those damn intros. I don't seem to be getting any better. I seem to be totally losing the plot. Why can't I get better? I think because I put too much pressure on. The pressure is on to act normal. No. Thank you for rocking up. This was kind of late notice. I just put the Polly Want a Cracker up. Which is translation to, I put a poll up on the community tab and asked you guys if I should go live because, yeah, that random YouTuber, fuck, she shat me. Why can't you present the facts of your fucking story? Okay, before we get into what we are going to get into, which you're probably confused, and that's fine. What I suggest, if you are confused, is head to the description box because I am way better at writing and expressing myself through writing than I am what comes out of my mouth. That's a fucking struggle. Okay. So you can find more info, the timestamps, which are fucking crucial in my opinion. You get to go wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Bypass all my dribbling. Also, the links are down there, and then if you just keep scrolling, you can find the cactus, the glorious cactus, and that's where you can find the link to become a member. They're the cactus contributors because what do? Yup, they contribute. Literally. Fuck my life. But I'm so grateful for them. They get a badge, they get extra content, and they get shout-outs. And tonight, guess what? It's this time of the shout-out time. Boki, I feel like I've been here too recently. If I have, it doesn't matter because thank you so much for being a cactus contributor. We got a good thing going. We got a good buddy system. Fuck, I can't even talk. I'm so sorry that I can't get these shout-outs out. Maybe I should just do it midstream when I'm warmed up. But I do appreciate you being a Cactus contributor. So thank you very much, Cactus High 10. And please have a good day today, regardless of this stream. Oh, where's that shovel? Oh, Nini, are you for serious? Should I do a fangirl moment? I always kind of fangirl. I get my fan out and I'm like, girly. When you are in the, because you're so better at getting the point across right there. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Okay, guys. First off, I have done multiple streams on this already. So I just we'll just do what is hydrocephalus and then we'll head into what Katie wrote. And it's all on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, that's fine because I'm not really on there at the moment. I'm not very involved in my social media at the moment. I'm trying to get my life back on track, but yeah, it's at It's Crystal Bill. So where are we? I've got to bring you guys in. I can't just leave you with my... We're just going to go over what hydrocephalus is, which Katie's son has. But in my opinion, I don't believe that he was born with it. I feel like it developed after whatever happened at 3 months old when he had sepsis and he was on life support. So there was some kind of brain injury there. And that's when I feel hydrocephalus came into, was added onto what it's already got. But yeah, so it's an abnormal buildup of fluid in the ventricle cavities deep within the brain. This excess fluid causes the ventricles to widen, putting pressure on the brain's tissues. The fluid is here we go. Cerebrospinal. Oh, look at me. That was a fluke. Cerebrospinal fluid is clear, colorless fluid that protects and cushions the brain and spine. Normally, this fluid flows through the ventricles and bathes the brain and spinal cord before being reabsorbed into the bloodstream. The blood typically produces enough of this fluid every day and it's absorbed the same amount. However, when the normal flow and absorption, oh my God, mouth, come on. Oh, it's not that hard to talk. 1 second, let me have a drink. E, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, acquired hydrocephalus, developed after birth. Oh, E, your daughter has it. Oh, look at you. You just be someone good to like talk. Well, can you see the red flags with Katie? It's like kind of gets to me just how many people follow Katie that also have this. And like if they were following her way back when she had all the stuff that she shared, which I'm using to share again. And I need to say, like, everything that I do say in this is all my own opinion. And like I said, like I've studied the development of a child's brain in particular. Like that was my one reason why I went to uni, was to study my own brain, have like sort of similarities with V. I don't have hydrocephalus, but I almost had spina bifida, like I was born prem. So I have all the prem stuff, which Katie just disregards as well. But yeah, we'll just get to the point. Where are we? The body typically produces enough fluid every day that absorbs the same amount. However, when the normal flow or absorption is blocked, it can result in a buildup of fluid. The pressure from too much fluid can keep the brain from functioning properly and cause brain damage and even death. Oh, it's so sad. Okay, so we'll just do, what are the symptoms? I'll also link the other videos that I've done on this down below. Okay, so the signs and symptoms in infants: a rapid increase in head size, an unusually large head, a bulge on the soft spot of the front, on the top of the head, vomiting, problems sucking or feeding, sleepiness, irritability, eyes that are fixed downwards, like can't look up, seizures. But like he was also throwing a lot of tantrums. You know, I've read the blog, my little superhero. She's like, today was awful, it ended with a tantrum. V's got RSV again. 6th ear infection in 5 months. Must be his asthma. Do you think it's his lungs? The articles are where the answers are and the amount of shit. But okay, let's go to me, my Twitter. I've got her posts on here, so it's all in one place. Like I said, well, I'll say what I said. Here's what I said. So I don't need to say anything because I've already pre-prepared my words. At Without a Crystal Ball. And yes, I know I have her blocked, but I tag her so that everyone else can see the shit the shit show for what it really is. Thank you for bringing awareness to hydrocephalus. I'd like to take this opportunity to bring awareness to the fact that your son lived with undiagnosed hydrocephalus from age 3 months to 3.5, well, 3.5 years old, which caused like irreversible brain damage. He almost could have, like how? And she was just looking at so many other diagnoses that could fit those symptoms, but his head just continued to go and you could see he's in so much pain. Oh, Katie's post from Facebook. In honor of Hydrocephalus Awareness Month, here are some facts about the condition that impacts more than 1 million people in the United States. Where's your full stop? There is no cure for hydrocephalus, and hydrocephalus is the leading cause of brain surgery in children. 50% of all shunts fail within the first 2 years, and the average lifespan of a shunt is 5 years. She also forgot to put in here that like iPad usage can affect the shunt, make it malfunction because it like the magnets and shit. But that won't stop Katie from screen feeding her child. A person with hydrocephalus will face a lifetime of brain scans, testing, and surgeries to repair or replace shunts. Is this what she's told her child? Up to 20% of children with hydrocephalus also are diagnosed with autism. We'll get to that little statistic later. There are no medications to treat hydrocephalus. I feel like she's doing this so that I just have to keep saying it. Some patients develop chronic headaches, migraines, neuropathy. Was that how you say it? And other neuropathic. Yeah, fucked it up now. You know what I'm saying. Fill in that blank. Okay, untreated, it can lead to brain damage or, yeah, that. As a mother of a child with hydrocephalus, I'd like for people to know that this is not an easy condition for a child. I thought she was going to say for any child, but especially my child. Shunts are finicky, and we've experienced several issues that have led to surgery. Yes. I've never seen so like a shunt just malfunction so much, like since I've been watching you, Katie. And how you don't know the signs, like parents, like I researched it and stuff, and parents are told to like be aware of the fucking signs because you need to get them to the hospital as soon as possible. And like that video I made where you just left him on the couch, we're doing as much as we can to not go to hospital, even though I've got my blow up mattress ready to go in my bag. Gotta find some joke there, but yeah. Dealing with shunt malfunctions is debilitating for the child, and adult. But yeah, I don't know if she meant it like that. I think she meant it like it's like so hard on her. Most people never know someone with a shunt or hydrocephalus because the shunts are placed on the head, on their head, and often covered by hair. On the head. Are you a parent? On the head? That means on top, Katie. Don't worry, I've got the pictures that you show where it is and stuff. And it's like lower at the base of the skull. Journalist. Just because you can't see the illness does not mean the individual with hydrocephalus doesn't face struggles and pains. It's just like, I've read it, but when I read it and I use my voice, it makes it even more fucked up. What? Just because you can't see the illness? Well, you couldn't see the illness. You took your son to so many places. And all the photos, Katie, stuff where, because you say your child has sensory processing disorder, and you say that that's a reason that he can't eat, because when he looks at his food, he sees worms. That's all he sees. There's worms everywhere. But then you were able to take him to all these things where he'd just be so overwhelmed by like the crowd and everything, but he was fine. I'm just going to not end that thought. Where do I go? This confuses me now. Do I go down? Oh, I go down. Oh, I didn't finish her paragraph. Be kind, empathetic. Empathetic. Don't judge. Remember, there is no way to prevent hydrocephalus in babies, only treatment once it's discovered. Oh God, man. Oh my God. Yes, I have shared pictures here of V, covered his face. Like, I know that his face is out there, but I can't, with my conscience, like, have my name attached to photos of him without covering his face. Just, I'll always have, I don't know, like, respect to his privacy first and foremost. But then I do realize I'm going to have to share pictures to really get the point across that all the pictures that Katie has shared, so many, like ridiculous amounts of and so I say, you did not even consider hydrocephalus as the cause for irritability, feeding issues, vomiting, lethargic, etc. Heck, you put him on a feeding tube without realizing his premature digestive system, which she likes to call oral apraxia or something. Apraxia, just, you don't need to put oral, okay? That is, like, I went through that. I had to go to speech therapy and like learn how to use my tongue and all this stuff. And also, like, I had eating issues and stuff, but my mum had patience. So you need to be caught out. I'm shaking writing this because, yeah, I fucking care. I feel like I care more about your child than you do. This is just one photo that she shared on the 7th of September 2014 from Facebook. So happy. Her child is so sick. Like, basically, he looks like an old man, and he's just so sick you can see it. Photo opportunity. This is like, obviously Katie's taken a photo of, or this is her, you know, wallpaper. And that's like how young he was, and his head was quite big. And there's another one, like his head, and you can see it in his face, the pain. Like I've said, most of the photos that she shared, like probably 90%, 80 to 90%, her child is in pain. And she can't see that. He'll be physically crying and she'll take photos and post it. You even put your son in daycare from 4 months old, guys. So after his sepsis, had sepsis at 3 months, was on life support, he came home And then boom, the next day or the next week or whatever, back into daycare. From 4 months to 3 years old. Because at 3 years old, or 3.5 years old, he was he had to have he was told that he had to have heart surgery. They had to like build it up from there. You know, okay, we're getting too far ahead. You only stopped taking him to daycare because daycare wasn't equipped for his fragile medical conditions. Daycare and an immunocompromised child with undiagnosed hydrocephalus. And then I'm just like, this is the awareness. This is a picture from when he had RSV. This is like around the time he had to have like an MRI or a CT scan. Like, I don't know which ones are. Like, so they had to find out about his heart. And and then during that, they find out that he has hydrocephalus. His face here, if you've seen the picture, I mean, God, he just looks so sick. But that was another photo opportunity for Mother of the Year. This is my sick child. Oh, how many likes can I get? He is so sick. Do you know what it reminds me of? When Janelle, you know, when Kaiser was sick and they'd have to go to the ER and it was a big deal and she'd take all these photos and he was like so sick. He just wanted his mum. This is like Katie's son has grown up with this phone in his face. On both sides of, like, you know, not only is he screen fed, because in my opinion, he's been screen fed, also from around 6 months to present day. So almost 10 years of being screen fed. And that's, you know, just a screen. That's his babysitter. When they don't have the patience for him. This is all my own opinion. But Katie, this is not only have I seen what you've shared, but I can feel the emotion in the photograph. Like I said, like I am a true empath, unlike you. Like I'm fucking, like, emotion is too much for me. Like, I think I was even diagnosed with emotional person disorder. And I was like, bingo, thank you. I'm so glad I paid $350 for you to tell me that I'm fucking emotional. Oh, I've got a joke somehow because fuck, it just makes me want to cry. He's at daycare. This is a picture of him at daycare. And that's his head. And then, yeah, like I'll link this down below. When V's shunt malfunction, Katie prolonged taking him to the hospital for 3 days. Said this at the beginning. Yeah, and he got worse. He wasn't getting better. He was vomiting, headaches. Like she had him like on that red couch. So she could just switch her phone to the back camera, give you a little update on my buddy. How's he doing? Godzilla's here. So that's all he needs. Not a mother to fucking get him to the hospital. But then, yeah, so Katie took him to the hospital, and when she got home, she did that IG live, and it was like Christmas Day. I'll link my video down below, but I just basically roasted her. And there's another one we reacted to, or I did, but I feel like we are together as a crew. Sometimes, you know, it's a bit like, what is it? Voltron? Is it Voltron or the people that ripped him off, Morphin Power Rangers? Yeah, like we all, yeah, okay, okay. And this is so all over the place, my tweets, because I've forgotten how to use Twitter. This is Katie's Instagram post. So basically it's the same thing, but we're going to be talking about this line here. Up to 20% of children with hydrocephalus also are diagnosed with autism. At Without a Crystal Ball, how can you be so sure? Oh, I haven't done the bit yet. Oh, I should have cancelled out the person's name. I didn't know the autism stat. This is someone commented under that. I do know quite a few people with hydro and autism, but I have a feeling that that stat could be off and they actually have NVLD like me, which manifests a lot like autism. Non-verbal language disorder. It doesn't mean you're non-verbal, but we'll get into it, what it is. Without a crystal ball, how can, I keep wanting to jump ahead because Katie replying to that person, I don't think so. Did I finish hers? God, I'm jumping all over the place. Yes. I have a feeling that that stat could be off and they actually have NVLD like me, which manifests a lot like autism. Katie says, I don't think so. Hydrocephalus Association is the leading non-profit that researches hydrocephalus. NVLD is very different than autism. Is it? Do you even know what it is, Katie? This is what shits me as well. Neuropsychologists. Most neuropsychologists will know the difference. Ours or my son's? Okay. Ours looked at both for my son. Fucking hell. For our son, she found that he had autism. Rigid thinking, repetitive actions are not part of NVLD that are required for autism syndrome diagnosis. Hope that helps. Without a crystal ball, how can you be so sure that V doesn't have NVLD? It's often misdiagnosed as autism, which, by the way, autism in babies is higher than non-congenital. God, I've never said it out loud, have I? Non-congenital hydrocephalus. Don't believe me? Keep scrolling. I'm going to give her little directions. NVLD, non-verbal language disorder, the inability to read social cues, body language, change in voice and the tone when someone's tone changes, which as I was reading this, I think I wrote it, yeah. Reading through this, it all sounds a bit like Katie. It does. Miss Monotone, Katie, who takes everything literally. And then I say I've always doubted V's sensory processing disorder, only because I've seen videos where, well, I'll bring up the videos, but I'll talk about that when we get there. NVLD is believed to be caused by damage, disorder, or destruction of neuronal, Katie, urinal, neuronal. I'm saying it. I'm not saying it right, am I? Oh, I can't even do little pronunciation Google person. Okay, white matter in the brain's right hemisphere and may be seen in persons experiencing a wide range of neurological diseases such as hydrocephalus and other types of brain injury. Oops. Yeah, there's a relationship between shunted hydrocephalus and non-verbal learning. Description of hydrocephalus and intelligence associated with hydrocephalus concludes with see, I didn't want to read this. Okay. Okay, so the intelligence associated with hydrocephalus has the link with a common pathway to residual damage caused by... Okay, so it's just saying the damage caused by hydrocephalus is linked. It's a final common pathway that links residual damage to non-verbal learning disability. Well, it's too small, but this is the possible causes. And it's like there's one here. Patients of hydrocephalus. So it's linked there. Katie, if you only just did further like investigation, she's so wanting this autism diagnosis, but she wants it to be the main diagnosis, like the way she goes at it. Like, I am a mother of an autistic child, but that's not his main diagnosis. Like, his main diagnosis is hypopituitarism, which his pituitary gland doesn't produce all the hormones, like any hormones. So like that's why he's on hormone growth hormones, hormone growth treatment. I'm not saying it right, but you know what I mean. Please tell me you know what I mean. Don't tell me I won't be able to hear. Let me just grab a drink because this is a lot of reading for my mouth. My mouth is struggling. Okay. Sorry if I'm not doing it justice. Like, I will link this, like my whole like thread. I'll link everything below so you can just go check it out for yourself. Yeah, without a crystal ball, research before completely dismissing a disorder that fits your son's symptoms more so than autism. Remember your vids on Facebook? You filmed or forced V to play with his sensory bin and his crash pad. Does anyone else out there remember these videos? And Katie has only recently taken them down, like this year. But they were up since, like she has said, she did a post or something about how Facebook is changing its ways and all this. And she's like, I've had my page since 2013. Yes! Since 2013, she's been posting multiple pictures of him a day, all these videos. And like, there's videos that like I can question. And the reason I had to like, mainly I never intended to share them and stuff. Like, if I do share them, it'll just be without the vision. But I sent them to like my old supervisor because I used to work for child protection. I used to work mainly like in foster care and like being able to, pick out predatory behavior and stuff online. So when my like supervisor was a little bit shocked too, but there's nothing we can do because we're in another country. And I can do this though and still respect your son, Katie, because thank you though for oversharing. I think I say this in one of my posts. Thank you for oversharing because it is helping to, shine a spotlight on how I don't think you've ever had your son's best interests. That's not your priority. I feel like you are, and what you can get from what he has. And if you put that diagnosis and that label, then it means you get that and you won't have to do that. And then you're free to do that. The kind of lazy parenting, or, how an addict's mind works. How can I make everyone believe that this is happening so then I can just live and do my stuff and drink and double this? No, I'm just singing and saying shit and saying you know, like you know, but you do know, Katie. I know you know. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, so a lot of misdiagnosis with people that actually do have nonverbal language disorder. It's been misdiagnosed as Asperger's or ADHD, which is another thing. Like, does he really have ADHD? Or is it this? Like, I'm so glad that I can't imagine having this and not being able to read social cues or see someone's face, or like, you know, being able to read people non-verbally. That, you know, that's my, how would you survive? You'd be Katie yelling at everyone. Where are we? Okay. I'm just skimming it so I don't have to read it. Oh yeah, and like, just because it, like, this is where I think Katie, like, what if they did mention that it could be this and Katie took the non-verbal thing and then just went with that and like started writing how her son was non-verbal, although he was only non-verbal because of the hydrocephalus, in my opinion. And also Katie has admitted in her articles that she was more focused on trying to get him to eat than his cognitive development, which means this is a mother that did not try to teach her child ABCs, counting, like learning songs with a child, sit down. She writes about it. Before she was diagnosed with ADHD, she couldn't, you know, sit down and play with him. No, she was always sitting back and filming. And those videos ended up on Facebook. And it's fucking disturbing. Especially the sensory bin. Like, you can see she set up the sensory bin and she wants him to perform for the, you know, this is my autistic child. Look at him with his, like, is sensory processing disorder linked to autism? So maybe that's why she's fighting so hard for that diagnosis. I don't know, but he doesn't. Because what? Yeah. Okay. My brain has gone off and my mouth is like still back, way off, and my brain's way down the alleyway. Where are we? Yeah, and this is why it's often misdiagnosed for ADHD, because they do talk a lot. People that are diagnosed with nonverbal learning disabilities are very verbal. They're often extremely powerful verbal and reasoning skills. However, they are weak in nonverbal areas. A key struggle is in the area of reading nonverbal cues, which can be as critical for nonverbal language. Yeah, and it's essential, really, to be social. Okay. Okay, my next post. That's not on the head. Like, if you were saying this is on the head, that's not where you would describe on the head. Okay, he's got a VP shunt, and this is it. I've got a chart, or not a chart, a diagram. So the shunt is put in to drain the fluid on the brain. And and then his goes into his gut. He couldn't go into it. Like, there are ones that go into the heart, but he's couldn't because he's got a weak heart as it is. So that's what he has. Katie Joy Paulson's oversharing is only benefiting V by helping anyone who sees KJ's post to see that KJ is her son's biggest disability in life. Always said that. There is stuff I won't share. However, that can change, well, depending on how much leaf. But, you know, I think I've covered all my boundaries with the narcissism, blocked every crevice that she could creep into. That's So this is a picture of V's scar where they put his shunt in, which I really don't want to zoom in because it's like, doesn't look like a very clean. Doesn't look, yeah, anyway. She put it on Facebook. And then this is his brain scan. So on the left, we got a normal one, and these are the ventricles in the brain that build up with the fluid. Look how wide his are. That's done all that damage, like push that, like the amount of damage in the brain for it to get to that. She's like, he has so extreme, but you were the reason it was so extreme because you left it. You left it. I don't know how or why. Katie writes, below is a picture of a normal brain on the left and V's brain on the V's brain with a shunt on the right. You can see V's hydrocephalus is quite big compared to the average brain. You don't understand what it is. I feel like she doesn't understand what it is. And like she's never looked it up. She's probably just gone to a forum or something to see what other parents are saying, and then she's just mimicked. It continues somewhere else. There's more. But like I said, it's all over the place because I forgot how to use Twitter. And then I just shared that video as well. Yeah, this is, I've got to do this. Like first I'm going to address this with the contributors, the members of this channel, because it's sensitive. But the whole feeding issue, I've got like so much to talk about, but it's every time I go to do it, because it's such a heavy fucking topic, and with the feeding, because of the premature stuff, like it relates back to me and it just fucking affects me way deeper than it should. But I really do need to get to that because I've got the screen feeding shit and the feeding stuff. But yeah, so I'll just read this. I said Katie's old article about V, I've read it and I'll link it below. How V sees worms on his dinner plate because of sensory processing disorder, or is this just another diagnosis that KJ needs to save her from V's hour-long feeding sessions? Like she used to have to sit there, which, I mean, God, if you've had a toddler, like sometimes I used to sit there for like 2 hours with my niece, but you do things, I remember I used to do the sausage train, the party train with all the food, and then like it would go down a roller coaster into like my niece's belly, and they'd have a party down there because they wanted more sausages. Oh, the shit. And she still remembers. She's like, I'll open up the cave and let it in. Will you feed me? Like, here comes the sausage train. Oh, gosh. But Katie, no. Because she doesn't have the patience, because her focus is not on her son, it's not caring. We'll get into that. I've got an article we'll just read at the end. It's not Katie, but it talks about what kind of person I believe Katie is. Where Katie would sit back and wonder why he isn't feeding himself. Literally sit back, the child, like, you can see she's put the food on the tray of the, my brain is cutting out, the tray of the high chair, but also the kind of food that you meant to feed a child, like solids and stuff, like what she's feeding him is like choking hazard. But she puts the food there and sits back and starts filming. Like I said, all these videos ended up on Facebook, and her child's just not eating. And she's like, well, you didn't eat today. Better put that in another reason to get a feeding tube. He's just not eating. And she writes in this article, I've had to teach him everything that neurotypical children can do on their own. Like, oh my God. She's like, I had to teach him to walk. What the fuck, guys? Like, just stuff. And there's one article, I'll have to read it. I'll have to go back into the articles and make you guys suffer, but she talks about being angry at the therapist for nagging her for not doing the homework that they set her, which was, you know, stuff to help him. So it would have been the motor skills, the tongue stretching, and like things you do I remember I used to have to do them. Just getting your mouth and that like familiar with using those muscles so that they do build up. But then also during the speech therapy, and another part of that is they can also help your child learn to eat and swallow. But because Katie wasn't happy with all the stuff that she had to do, she's like, I don't have time. I pick him up from daycare and then I put him to bed. True. That's what these articles are eye-popping. I never used that word, but brain dead over here now. Oh my God. Why did I use that word? Okay. Breathe. I think that's it. Like I think there was another post, but it's in here somewhere. Like, yeah. But I'm going to get a drink, and then I'm just going to read out like, because in my opinion, I believe that Katie has narcissistic traits, and I've been learning about narcissistic, like maternal narcissistic. It's just, I can't even imagine not having a caring, nurturing mum, especially with an emotional child. I was so, not only am I an emotional person with a disorder that says that, I think that's even bipolar, but I'm not. Like, I'm just depression for life. But it all relates back to my birth, because I was born like 8 weeks prem, and my mum she was in a coma for like 10 days. And I didn't get like skin on skin contact. And I also didn't get human contact for at least a fortnight. Skin on skin contact. Like I was only getting held through like the gloves and stuff in the incubator. But yeah, I had no human contact for the first fortnight. So now I've got like fucking attachment issues, but especially with my mum. And then she was going through not only postpartum, but PTSD from her birth, like the traumatic birth. And I picked up I absorbed all of her anxiety and everything. But yeah, back in those days, like my mum never got help or anything. She just continued on. Which, I mean, she blames herself now just for not knowing all these things, that especially even like all the stuff to do with my digestive system, which has been a struggle my whole life, but it's only until the last, 5 years that I've put 2 and 2 together, and that it's related to being premature. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna, how to cope with having a narc mum. I'm just gonna have a drink. Okay, so just in my opinion, Katie shows, well, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to, a narcissistic mother may feel entitled or self-important, seek admiration from others, believe she is above others, lack empathy, exploit her children, put others down, experience hypersensitivity to criticism, believe she deserves special treatment, and worst of all, may be naive to the damage she is causing. In addition, a narcissistic mother may use her children to advance her own goals and wishes at the expense of the child's desires and even emotional or physical needs. Ah, a narcissistic mother. Oh, what's happening there? Oh, look at that. Look at me. I'm magic. I am magic. What's happening? Okay, so I went to highlight that and it just all turned white. A narcissistic mother may use her children to advance her own goals and wishes at the expense of the child's desires, emotional and physical needs. And then you go back up here, and maybe she might be naive to the damage she is causing, or have no fucking idea because she's got no emotional connection to her child. So she doesn't know when her child is in harm, in my opinion, hurting, in pain. That's why she can take the pictures of him in pain and share them. No idea what she is sharing. And that's, applause, really, to the dum-dum. Because holy shit, if dum-dum didn't post or overshare all this shit, no one out here would really be worried about your son or questioning or anything, Katie. But it's almost as if deep inside you, there's a little bit of human. Maybe your subconscious is a human, like a little bit. If I do this, it will get the message out. Or maybe V has just been posting all along. For example, a narcissistic mother may order her child. Okay, we won't go into characteristics. She constantly makes the conversation to be about her, brags about your achievements to others. Katie has this article where she says that she has a massive issue with milestone charts that the therapist continually wanted to bring out and show her that even though your child is a little bit behind, like he should be here, this is where we're expecting, it should be if you'd done the hard yakka and put it in and cared about your son's cognitive development, just like you did when he was in the womb. When you gave up your biggest vice in order for your son. Just going to leave that with no afterthought, because that's the scary thing as well. Hypopituitarism falls in the, it's part of fetal alcohol syndrome. It's just really fucked. Do you think that like within the first, we'll say 21 days, the first 21 days of being pregnant, would Katie have been able to put down that drink? Would she have lied to herself that she's only had one, or that this is not going to cause harm? She's admitted to heavily drinking for well over half of her life. That's her coping mechanism. Would she be now to go 9 months with not drinking? I know this is very fucking difficult to talk about and it's a heavy fucking issue, and never in my life would I ever fucking question a mother. Just like I would never in my fucking life question an RAP victim. But when there's fucking red flags everywhere, I feel like if someone doesn't fucking speak up, that it's just like the dogs and the animals. They don't have anyone to speak for them, to get to be their voice. And I did those videos for them, and that was fucking hard. I'm doing these videos for V. And although, you know, some people are going to say I've gone too far, Katie went too far, sharing it, oversharing his story, but also the amount of diagnosed different disorders, different diseases that this child has to make him the sickest child in the world. I can't imagine her speaking positive around him. I can't imagine her being positive around him ever. She will keep him sick. Because without him, she's got no fucking story. She's got nothing to fall back on when people call her out. Imagine that. It would have to be, oh my God, you're coming after me, and I'm the mother of 4 cats that have been at the vet for multiple times for eating hair lackeys. You know, God, think of me and my animals. Okay, think of me and my animals. I have rescued dogs that have been traumatized. That's how good I am. I adopted them. I rescued them. They're hunting dogs, by the way. Yeah. Fucking Katie. If only you had a little bit of brain. But you know what? Like someone did say, like on Twitter, and I think we all have like thought this, that V looks exactly like Katie. Facial features and everything. And we have said about Katie's facial, you know, no one really, I can't fit 3 fingers. God, I've gone, that's rude, isn't it? But I don't know how to say it. The flat top lip, with that huge gap, she has the facial features of someone that was that had fetal alcohol syndrome. And this adds to my theory where I believe that Katie's mum might have also been a narcissist and she didn't stop drinking. Katie talks about in the video where she talks about where she came from. I'll link that below as well. She says that her mother self-medicated all of her life through drinking. And she had extreme anxiety or whatever. And it wasn't until later on in life she, you know, got on the right meds and stuff. And I'm like, well, Katie, you self-medicated too. Were you both so selfish? What, like, anyway. Let's continue with the characteristics of a narc mum. Makes you feel bad for not doing what she wants. Makes you feel guilty by boasting about how much she does for you. Oh, Toad. Harshly opinionated at home, but puts up a front for people she dislikes. Huh? No, that's not Katie. Ruthless and unforgiving. Oh, yeah. Because I rewatched the basement video last night. I hadn't watched it. Well, not this year anyway. Fucking pissed myself laughing. And like she holds up the photo of her and her friends and she's like, this is the time we dressed up as trash bags. And it was, they had used bin bags to make, you know, a look dress and a headband. Like they used trash bags to dress up. Okay, was like, we dressed up as trash bags. Oh, fuck, I'll have to link that. This is going to be, I'll just link my whole playlist below. Okay. Yeah, look, we'll just end it there, I think. Oh, yeah, this is, I'm just going to read this line. Did I read this before? Part of being a child means looking to our parents for love, support, and encouragement. Our parents set the foundation for feelings of safety and trust in others. It's important for children to feel seen and heard by their loved ones. as they grow up. Not now, mummy's busy. It can be really painful to grow up with a parent who denies a child of these emotional security blankets. Yeah, that's sad, isn't it? A narcissistic mother is unable to give her child the full attention and validation they need to feel loved and emotionally secure. This may impact the child's beliefs, behaviors, and self-esteem well into childhood. It's just a cycle of, and Toad is enabling it. I feel like he's the dependent party in all of this. And it's just, imagine what's going on in this house. Like, we get a glimpse, a lot of yelling, a lot of no patience, two alcoholics trying to deal with a child that they are not, I mean, they are stunted in their like, they must have started drinking in their teens because it's where they are stunted. They're too fucking immature to be able to raise a child with this fucking complex needs. Imagine if it was just hydrocephalus. Imagine just that. That alone. I mean, God, remember when their furnace went out? Or, you know, and it took them a whole day to realize. It wasn't until 6 p.m. or something. They were like, well, we're just going to have to do tonight. Go really, you know, it was fucking freezing. When their son relies on the environment, a steady temperature, right? Because he can't produce, you know, if he gets stressed out, like, because he doesn't have the cortisol, the hormone, you know, that produces the cortisol to regulate his stress levels. So Katie's running around the house, making his panic even more. Remember when she told him about the school shooting at his school or near his school? Why? Or like how he was there when the cops rolled up. She's like, my son was petrified. Why? She's like, CPS rocked up. And we told our son that they were here to take him away. Why? Oh my God. Oh, okay. I just can't imagine. But Meemore, if you're listening, because I know Meemore has spoken about, like she's very knowledgeable with a narcissistic mum. It's very sad that these people even would decide to have kids, but then I don't think Katie decided. I think that was part of the deal. Like, Toad was like, look, I know you're fucking desperate. You're 38. You need to have a child to fit in with what society expects of you. You need to marry a man. You can never be caught out for being bi or anything different because you take the safe route all the time. But yeah, I think it was like, look, we don't have to have sex anymore, but let's have once until you conceive, and then that will be my son and your son. We'll never say our son because we aren't a couple. We aren't parenting. We are two separate individuals living in this house. Fucking shit. Oh, I just like can't even. My God. But then you think like how much energy she put in when, this is why I think I'm flying under the radar, like now that I've crossed all my, like blocked off every little crevice that she can come from. How hard she went at Teaspiracy to take down the video of where Katie didn't get off Instagram and Mr. Crystal Balls is fucking yelling at V. And V's crying that he's hungry. But, you know, because they don't do intervals with feeding, it's all at once or none at all. Yeah, so Katie arced up at that and went on and on and on, bringing more attention to it, but couldn't get facts. She just needed, like, she was hyper-focused on Teaspiracy, getting that taken down, because that is, like, that happens so often in their house. We can see Katie's not even fucking reacting. It is normal every day. if it didn't happen all the time, Katie would have we'd see an alarm on her face. You know, she would have been shocked. She probably would have run up there and also started yelling. But no, she didn't, because they yell. That is how they parent. And can you imagine? Well, we've seen V. We've seen him when he comes into that room, that clip. This is another video I've put together. It's like special needs parenting with the Paulson'S. And like V runs into the room after, because he was downstairs. And he starts telling Katie, like, I'm doing this and I'm trying to put this together, but Toad won't stop yelling at him to have a shower. And then you can hear Toad screaming. Like, he can still hear V relaying what's going on to Katie. And he is like, Toad is screaming, correcting what V is saying. And then when V finishes saying this, Katie's like, okay. And like it's like just dismisses what he's saying so she can get back to streaming. And then you hear him and he's like, well, you don't have to act like that or something. He's so much smarter than them. He runs from being yelled at by Toad to like, Mum, can you like try and figure this out? Like, Toad won't stop yelling at me. No, Katie yells at him, tells him to go away, doesn't even fix the situation, sends her son back out there to be yelled at. And like he was, you know, in a diaper until 6, 7. He's not as disabled as Katie says he is. He's fucking more, I reckon he's more intelligent than them. I can't wait until he spins that table around on the 2 dumbest sticks ever. But I don't know if he'd ever turn on Toad, but he's going to have some resentment for Toad not getting him out of that fucking house. But when Toad has got, you know, free ride for life, I can make all my Etsy stuff and I can make instruments too. And this is my job. You should get David Eason to collaborate. Imagine those two. Can you imagine the sales going through the fucking roof? More than the eyebrows situation, Janelle's eyebrows product. Oh my God, I've missed stuff. Oh, there's something red up here. Nelly, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate that. Oh, did I miss anything else? Oh, here we go. She does not care. And I think that's why I was even more like, after watching the basement videos of her going through all the photos and stuff, because after I posted that video of her talking about being bisexual, and I've been with women, it was great. I liked it. She's like, I liked it, while she's shaking her head. I was like, well, I need to go back and watch that video because you told us every single guy you had been with never once mentioned a woman. And, you know, that's just another lie. She doesn't know who she is. Her whole life is a lie. But then there's a child relying on this liar to raise him. But she doesn't even, like, if she is her priority, she's also letting her fucking self-care down, you know? Online, like being online is her priority, in my opinion. But fuck, this is fucked. The poor V. So like I said, like, even though some people will view what I share as crossing the line, and I can totally see that point of view, don't worry. Like, I used to work in child protection, and like I had to get out of that because it started affecting me. Because, you know, you think you're made, you're like, this is why I went through that shit so I can help other kids. And then you realize that no, it takes someone very strong. But yeah. What do we say now? Mashed potato brains. Oh, yeah, I think I've said enough. I just don't even think she would have like kissed a girl. I can't imagine her being vulnerable enough to even, you know, question her sexuality, question who she is. I don't think she knows. You know, so it's just another lie. I'll go down this, like this will be my bisexual story. It's just, and it's so, she gets so hung up on the labels, which is why she gets so hung up on all these diagnoses. And it's annoying as well because she'll list, like I'll go back to check what he actually has, and she'll list symptoms as disorders. So a lot of the oral, like when she says oral apraxia, it's apraxia. Okay, apraxia only happens in the oral region with the motor skills that are underdeveloped. Most premature babies can't suck, can't swallow. And it takes a patient as fuck mum. That's what I mean. Like my mum is the reason I'm not having kids. There's no way I could even live up to that kind of caring mum. Like I was a highly strung child. Like also I didn't want to have kids in case I gave birth to myself, which is what happened to my friend. And like, guys, has anyone out there ever given birth? Like, well, I know a lot of you have, but have you looked down and seen your child? Do they come out looking up? Or you don't get to look down because there's a sheet. But wouldn't it be funny if you looked down and you saw yourself? Oh my God. Because I think that's freaky. My friend's daughter looks exactly like her. Or when they look like your friends mushed together, like you can see your friend and your friend's husband in their child. That's scary. Children are scary because you have to be responsible. See, I worried that I wasn't grown up enough. Like I was like, when I grow up, I'll have children, or like I'll adopt. I always wanted to adopt. But I've never grown up. Like I'm almost 40 and I haven't grown up yet. Maybe turning 40 will grow up, but no. I think you have, like, because I've spoken to my friends, having children makes you grow up. But with Katie, they're unable to grow up because they are stunted emotionally, everything really, just stunted by their addiction, their drinking. Katie's also, wouldn't be surprised if she hit the bong early either, you know, before her brain was fully developed. But she just lacks all that social skills, the social etiquette, the social respect, the fucking boundaries, like stuff you learn from being a fucking, I know there's males out there, but being a teenage girl and surviving that shit, like holy shit. We can take on the world because we survived the bitchiest fucking shit in the world. Whereas Katie's never matured past that. She is still that mean girl. She's still that fucking bitch that will hold that grudge forever with no idea about the, you know, negativity aging her. This is just all my opinion. Gosh, I've got a lot of opinions, but yeah, I hope my opinions and my voice, if it doesn't help V, I hope that it plants a seed somewhere that someone can see that someone tried to put a spotlight on the red flags. I'm so surprised that if CPS was ever called that, yeah. Why isn't, well, there's no trail where they've gone and like seeked help for alcoholism or anything, anger management, which Toad needs. God, even remember the PAULSON'S, remember the EXES when they had their kids taken off them? Like David Eason, they had to go to parenting classes, which they didn't go to, but, and also anger management, which they didn't go to, but at least they, you know, it was on the cards, but they were stoners. I don't know. I reckon, I don't know, would you rather your child be babysat by the Easons, Janelle Eason. I've never called her that. Janelle Evans and David Eason. I want a pool party with the Paulson'S. Can you imagine? Oh my God. I just reckon Toad and David, I've never called him David, UBT, would be best fucking mates. Can you just, I can see it. I can see it now. Oh, just, yeah, the drums, the tattoos. Yeah, I think that's it. They're women. Katie and Janelle having it. No, Janelle would fucking get the gun out and not let Katie on her property after releasing those fucking DMs. Oh, no, she's a poster mum for just a white piece of paper on the wall. This is my child's milestone growing chart. You can see it's got nothing on it, and this is the one. It causes me no stress because I'm not put under any pressure to meet any milestone. Oh, this is what she said. She's like, V will grow at his pace, and we're happy to go along with V at his pace, and all this just fucking crap. No, you've got to help your child grow. You can't just sit there, and it's not like The Sims. I reckon she just thinks it's like The Sims. If I sit here and read this book, my child will grow because I've read the chapter on development. I'm just fucking mashed potato brains. Oh my God, Venda! You saw, where was the mirror? Venda says, I could see my son's birth in a mirror. I love that. Did you get them to move the mirror? And then did you need it to be moved? Like, you're like a little bit to the left. Can't quite see. Can you just move the mirror? I'm just being stupid. That is so cool. I like that. I'm writing that down. No, I could never give, no. I do a set about, well, if this is like, don't ever listen to my comedy because it's really bad, but yeah, the canal. The canal. Could never push a child out of my canal. Oh, you brave people though. You brave people, brave mums out there. Also, I can't even look after a plant, which was kind of like, I don't have that responsibility, Jean. Oh, what? There's a new stream that she had his feeding and meds on. No? Is it on Facebook or Instagram? Oh, I haven't seen it. Oh, is it going to be another one where it's like, sorry, you're too late. I've deleted it. Okay. I just want to go have a look. Don't mind me. How do I, without any crystals in your book, how do I get there? Okay, so why is it not working? Why is like Facebook so annoying? Why is that not working? Like I put it in the box and I press enter, right? You're going to make me type it without a crush. Without a crush ball. Oh, is that your video? It's not going to load. Oh. Oh, no, it's not there. Oh, where is it? I'd have to go to Reddit, wouldn't I? Okay, Will, you can let me know or tag me on Twitter. I'm sure I'll scroll down, you probably answer. Oh, it's on Facebook. Oh, you messaged me on Twitter. I need to fully check my Twitter DMs, and please don't take it personally. Anyone that has DM'd me and I haven't seen it like since April, I have just created my own head fuck, like disconnected from the world and then over disconnected and then made it a big issue, like replying to people. Like, not just you guys, oh my God, my friends in real life, that's who I should be replying to. I look at it and it's just, why? What's happened to me if I turn into a narcissist? I think it's something to do with total disconnecting from the world, and now I can't get back, or like I don't have the want to go back on social media, but I need to. Oh, it's not recent. It's kind of recent. Oh, okay. I'll have a look on Twitter. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Or is it I like a heads up? Oh, yeah. No wonder she uses her filters, Melly Lynn, on Instagram or wherever she can get a filter. Like, no, even though she's got all that Botox and shit in her face, she's still insecure as fuck because obviously she looks like an old, I don't even want to say she looks like a 60-year-old, 70-year-old, because they look better than what she looks like. She looks like she has been drinking and addiction to, because, I mean, like even, yeah, like Dexy addiction will age you on its own. It's like dehydration central. Mix that with red wine and you will end up looking like a sultana. Katie had a tan. In all her old photos, she had a tan. She doesn't have she has tanned skin and it goes really dark. So she thinks she's got fair skin, vanilla. And I don't even know if I've had narcissists cross my path because it's so weird. Like I've never even, like I learnt about it at uni and stuff, like narcissism, but it's not until you, like textbook reading about narcissism versus seeing it for yourself is like completely different. It just blows my fucking mind. I can't imagine having no self-awareness. Can't imagine having no emotional connection to people. I can't imagine being married to Toad. I can't imagine marrying a boat that don't float, a sail that don't go up, a heathen. Well, that is not even heathen, but he's doing heathen a bad justice because he's so obsessed. Kind of like how, like, the hate towards the Catholic Church and all that, it reminds me a bit of like Marilyn Manson. Not that he really hated, but he played into that. Like he used to burn the Bible on stage and stuff, like total disrespect. Like one of my favorite posters, because I was a Manson fan growing up, but now I can't talk about him. Fucking what? Yeah, I had this like poster. Like I was raised Catholic, okay? So my mum was still Catholic and she used to come in and clean my room and I'd have this Manson poster where he's naked and he's got his dick in the Bible. Oh, yeah. Yes, it is gross, TK. I know you're probably not replying to that, but it is gross. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I've got to add the timestamps and stuff. I'll have to do it, yeah, well, quickly. Thank you so much for tuning in and everything. Thanks to all the new people that have hit that subscribe button. You're not now part of the Cactus crew. Yeah. And yeah, hit like if you enjoyed this. And yeah, comment below, like we can continue this discussion. Just don't come at me. Try to understand where I'm coming from and what this child has to live with daily. Oh, you, it was. I know you too well now, TK. Thank you so much. And TK, thanks for like everything you do in chat. Everyone, it's so good to see familiar names in the chat. I have to just, I've got a live that one day we will just watch this video where, you know, Katie just sits in her drinking chair and we can just hang out in chat and talk. I won't have to like focus on delivering any important information. You'll just be like, bitch, what did you just say? Oh. Her money for 2 Bentleys. Fuck. Bentley, what kind of old, like, and she wants Coach bags and stuff. But anyway, getting out of control as usual. Too many thoughts flooding my brain. Thanks so much, everyone, at rocking up in chat. Thanks for you guys for tuning in. And I know it's too late, but timestamps got to change. Oh, I didn't dribble as much. I think I got straight to the point. It's at the end here. We're a little bit of a mess. That's what happens when mashed potato brains tries to talk. Okay, guys, please take care. Have a good day. Go enjoy your day because mine's over. But yeah, yours isn't. Okay, guys, take care. And yeah, I'll see you again soon.